Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome to This Day. It is Friday, October 31st. I'm Michael Taylor. Glad to be here with you. And happy birthday to my daughter, Samantha Taylor, born on this day. I'm not going to say how many years ago, but October 31st. It's a lot of fun having a Halloween baby. There's always fun Halloween parties for her birthday. Everybody dressed up when they were kids. I dressed up a few times too. Lots of fun. Hope you guys have lots of fun plans for this Halloween. Right now, though, let's talk about what we have planned for this show on this very happy Halloween. Not too scary, though. Nothing really crazy out there. Solace Home Care is going to be here. We're going to talk to those folks about in-home health care and services that you may need or a loved one may need. So how do you sign up for that? What the proper steps are for that? Bree's going to be here talking to those folks about that. And then later in the program, we got Sports Corner, NFL football, World Series. This is a great time to be doing sports. Lots of fun things happening. So we'll look forward to Cole a little later in the show. Right now, though, let's talk about our veterans. It's Veterans Day's coming up on the 11th, just 12 days away. And we're going to say a hearty thank you to all of them right here at Clubhouse 2 on November 11th, of course, from 11 a.m. to noon. There's going to be an event featuring Kathy Rath, tributes, guest speakers, a colors presentation by the American Legion Post 257, some refreshments as well. If you want more information about the celebration, you can call the number or email on the screen. But otherwise, just come on out and enjoy the celebration and honor the vets who've served this nation for hundreds of years. All right, let's take a quick check of our weather. We've got a beautiful day for Halloween trick-or-treating, right? Let's get all dressed up and enjoy ourselves. Going to have 76 today, and then we're going to bump up into the 80s a little bit warmer than usual for this time of year, but you know, that comes in waves this time of year too. So got 80s for the weekend and then back down into the 70s by Tuesday. Lots of sunny skies, beautiful days. So get out there, enjoy Halloween trick-or-treating and all the festive parties that are going on as well. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset. Oh, spooky picture for today. I love it. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is on Via Castillo over here in Laguna Woods. Thank you, Judy Blando, for sending us this picture. Really cool picture. I love that decorations there. Sunrise this morning was 7:09. Sunset tonight is going to be 5:59. And if you'd like to send us a picture, we'd love to see it. Right here, send it to us. Email lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, no meetings to tell you about, so when we come back, it'll be Bree with Solace Home Care.
The Laguna Woods History Center, the only purpose-built local history archive in Orange County, has been capturing the legacy of our community since 1977. As a nonprofit dedicated to preserving today for tomorrow, we collect, conserve, and share the history of Laguna Woods Village, the city of Laguna Woods, and the surrounding Orange County region. Step into the past and connect with the present at your community archive. Whether you're curious about local milestones, searching for historical documents, or exploring treasured artifacts, the History Center is your gateway to the stories that shape Laguna Woods. The Laguna Woods History Center is a separate building adjacent to the Village Library. We are open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or by appointment. Visit us and find your place in history.
Dental care in America is broken. If you need a dental implant in the States, you're looking at somewhere between $3,600 and up to $8,000, and that's per tooth. And for a full mouth restoration, you're talking somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000. The good news is there's a solution. That's where HebeDoc comes in. We're not a dental clinic. We're a US-based one-stop solution for affordable, safe dental care right here in Mexico without the risk.
21 years ago, I started Solace Home Care because I saw a need for a professionally run home care organization in Laguna Woods. I wanted to build on 3 principles. 1, ease for the client. 1 call to Solace Home Care will put you on the right path. 2, quality. Medicare ranks Solace among the highest home health and hospice providers in the state. 3, trust. We've been in business for 21 years. Call Solace and let us show you why we've been in business longer than any other home care company in South Orange County.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We've got important topics to talk to you about with Solace Home Care. We're diving into the importance of healthy aging and, more importantly, how to prevent falls. Joining me now is Quincy Novella and Melissa Harmon with Solace. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in today. These are very important topics, and I know all of us, no matter what age we are, we're faced with healthy aging and trying to prevent falls. Right. So, Melissa, welcome back to California.
Thank you.
You've since
It's good to
moved
be in
here
the warmth.
to take care of your parents. So I know that this is a very important topic to you personally. What are, in your opinion, and in your physical therapist?
Yes, I'm
so
a PT.
What have you seen come in your through your practice, like the number one reason that people fall?
Well, we know statistically that we lose muscle as we age, and that accelerates after the age of 60. So by 80, if we are inactive, we have lost maybe even 30% of our muscle bulk. So, but all is not lost. We have a way of preventing that strength and muscle loss by becoming more active. That's where some walking program comes in. And walking really is the best way to prevent, these things that happen with aging. Falls are a natural part of aging, but there are ways to prevent them.
Yes.
So that's the good news.
Now, can you actually rebuild muscle by walking?
Yes, it's never too late to build muscle.
And that's kind of the easiest thing to do.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
It's easier than going and lifting weights at the gym. Although you should do that too.
You should do that. Yeah, there's so many great aspects about walking that helps you with aging. We lose muscle strength, but we also suffer some cardiovascular effects in aging, and joint stiffness. Walking can help you with all these things.
Wow.
It can even improve sleep, and Solace can help you with that.
Well, fantastic. And I was going to ask Quincy, how do you create a safe environment in your clients' homes?
So when we go out and we do typically when a patient needs some care, I go out and I do an assessment. We do a home safety evaluation, making sure they have all the equipment in place, looking at their mobility. If there's needs, I would call a doctor, get some orders for some therapy. And then, because therapy is what's going to help them thrive. I always say the more they can get out of their home and their four walls, the more they're going to thrive.
Absolutely.
Mental health is just as important as our physical health. So getting out and doing those things clears your mind.
Even if you're resistant to getting out, because I know the longer that people sort of become inclusive, the harder it is to actually force yourself to get out there. Right?
Sometimes it's nice to have a partner in those things, whether it's your friend that you're partnering up with or a caregiver that will carry out a program that the therapist has designed for you. But even if you're not getting out, there's so many things that you can do at home and lots of programming that can be done.
Do the two of you work together and go inside people's homes to make sure? I mean, you had mentioned
Probably not at the same time. Sometimes I do a visit and the therapist is there. It just kind of all depends. And sometimes it's good for me to see how a patient transfers or what we can do better. And so therapist shows caregiver, works with the caregiver, and so that we don't miss anything, so we can keep the client as strong as possible.
So Melissa, you had started to mention that there are several things that people can do within the home
to prevent falls.
To prevent falls, keep themselves more fit, more active. Can you give us some examples of what that might look like?
Yeah. So in terms of just a simple all-over exercise is sitting to standing. Sitting to standing. You should
almost a squat.
Almost a squat, but you have a seat behind you for safety. So
and that's really going to strengthen the quadricep muscles, right?
There was a study done that said that if you squat down 10 times every hour, that's equivalent to 30 minutes of walking, which is the recommendation, by the way, 30 minutes of walking 5 times a week. And sometimes it's hard to get there by yourself. So that's kind of what we're here for.
Well, I will tell you what helps with that is a dog.
Yes.
True.
I had a little Sheltie for 13 years, and his health was more important than mine, and so I walked him for at least an hour. Well,
That was your partner too.
I didn't.
Yeah, that was your partner. That gives you purpose to get out there, and that's what's important.
100%.
Yeah.
And in terms of preventing falls, of course, looking at the home is important. But some of the just basic tips and tricks is to move objects that you use more often around waist level in the kitchen, putting bars in the bathroom, picking up throw rugs, wearing proper footwear that covers your whole foot, things like that.
That's one of the bigger issues. Everyone likes to use their slippers or,
Yes.
just the slip-on shoes, and that's a
Flip-flops.
huge.
Yeah, not recommending flip-flops.
Exactly. Well, but it doesn't even have to happen within the home. My sister-in-law was playing pickleball and fell and broke her hip. So, I think it just goes back to maintaining as much muscle structure as we possibly can.
Right, right. And that walking helps with your mood, your brain activity, your circadian rhythm. I mean, I cannot think of anything negative about walking. It helps your flexibility, your balance, your strength, everything.
Well, I think that there's a walking club here in the village.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, so people need to start joining it. So aside from specifically exercise related, are there any other types of activities or nutrition or anything else that viewers should have on their radar to incorporate in their daily lifestyle?
Sure, we know that hydration is important, especially as we're having these really warm days. When you are not hydrated, you tend to feel a little bit dizzy and weak. So we want to stay hydrated. And high density nutrition is good. Protein helps to keep your muscles strong.
Right. And Quincy, are some of these things what you review with clients when you go into their home to give them an in-home assessment?
Yes.
Do you make sure that they're getting their exercise and they're eating properly? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's all on our care plan. So when we develop the care plan, every single care plan I write, it doesn't matter what diagnosis is, it's always encourage hydration at all times, because dehydration is the number one reason why 911 is called.
Is that right?
That's what they have told us, so they've asked us to put it on our care plans. And clients don't really realize it, and dehydration causes so many other effects.
What are some examples of something that somebody would be feeling to know the
actually,
signs?
the first sign of dehydration isn't always thirst. It can be feeling very fatigued and maybe dizzy or a little loopy.
It does cause cognitive issues. It causes dizziness that will also cause falls. So we encourage hydration at all times. We encourage the caregivers, to make 3 full meals per day. Most clients usually like 2, typically 2 meals per day, and that's okay as long as they're getting the right ingredient. The protein is what's important.
So how much water for the hydration effect do people really need to be drinking?
I think it all depends, because we have some that are on fluid restriction as well, but we just have to make sure that we jot down all those things. But isn't it 32 ounces for a senior, or no?
I think between 32 and 48 ounces is a good range, and of course we have to take into consideration any doctor's orders for fluid restriction. So something else is to look at your vision and your hearing. All those senses come into, and your medication too. So we can help with that too, looking at medication, though that affects falling. It can put you at risk for fall.
So Quincy, if somebody was interested in contacting Solace, what's the best method to do so? Is it online? Is it pick up the phone?
I think our phone is the best way. I mean, our corporate office is right here in Irvine, and then they connect it to me if they need an assessment, and I can go out. Sometimes I can go same day, sometimes schedule for the next day. we want to help. We want to be available at all times.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're such an asset to this community, and everybody appreciates it. So, thank you,
so
ladies, for
Thank
coming
you for
and
having us.
sharing this information with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
I would highly recommend Salus Home Care for their home care and or hospice services if that is something that you would require. They are kind, caring, and trusting individuals, and to this day they are family members of ours, and I would use them again if I had to. Without Salus, we would never ever have been able to make it through.
Call Salus and let us show you why we've been in business longer than any other home care company in South Orange County.
We're Denise and Ann with Legacy Arrangements.
We help families plan ahead for future funeral and cremation pre-arrangements. We represent over 70 mortuaries in the Southern California area.
We know these conversations aren't always easy, but we understand how truly important they really are. We are dedicated to making an uncomfortable conversation as comfortable for you as possible.
By planning today, you're going to lock in today's cost, and you're going to let your family know your future wishes.
It's truly a gift you give your loved ones.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
When it comes to life's most important medical challenges, where do you go? Welcome to the Hoag Institutes. Our patient-centered approach to care is rooted in clinical excellence and guided by world-class teams. Unparalleled expertise, world-class care, all within the Hoag Institutes, right here in OC.
Happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and obviously by my outfit, you can tell today is Halloween, but this is also the 175th episode of Sports Corner. Thanks for tuning in to this segment for the past 3.5 years. Anyways, let's jump right in. Starting with the MLB, this has been one of the most iconic World Series in history. In Game 1 last Friday, Addison Barger launched the first pinch-hit grand slam in World Series history. Alejandro Kirk added a 2-run homer in a 9-run 6th inning, and the Toronto Blue Jays overwhelmed the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers 11-4 in the World Series opener. Game 2 went pretty much the exact opposite. Yoshinobu Yamamoto went the distance for a second straight start, pitching all 9 innings and giving up just 1 run on 105 pitches as the Dodgers even the World Series at a game apiece with a 5-1 win over the Blue Jays on Saturday night. Max Muncy and Will Smith each hit solo home runs in the 7th inning to build the Dodgers' lead. While games 1 and 2 were exciting, nothing compares to Game 3. This game featured 18 innings over 6 hours and 39 minutes, 609 pitches, 130 at-bats, 19 different pitchers, 5 home runs, Shohei Ohtani being intentionally walked 4 times, and even Clayton Kershaw on the mound. This was tied for the longest game in postseason history, and it only ended when Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 18th inning as the Dodgers outlasted the Blue Jays 6-5. The only other series contest to go 18 innings was Game 3 at Dodger Stadium 7 years ago. Here's a rundown of all the records that were broken that night. Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off grand slam in Game 1 of the World Series last year. Freeman's 2 postseason walk-off home runs are tied for the most in postseason history, with David Ortiz, Carlos Correa, and Bernie Williams. Freeman is the only one with 2 in the World Series. The Dodgers now have 4 walk-off World Series home runs. That ties the Yankees for the most, and no other team even has 2. The 19 combined pitchers used were the most in a game in postseason history. The 609 pitches thrown were 48 more than any other postseason game since at least 2000. As I mentioned, the game took 6 hours and 39 minutes, the second longest in postseason history by time, behind 7 hours and 20 minutes in that 2018 game I mentioned earlier. There were 37 combined runners left on base, 6 more than any other game in postseason history. And yet again, there's Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani reached base 9 times, setting a postseason record, surpassing the previous mark by 3. That also tied the MLB record for any game, and only 3 other players in history have reached that mark. Ohtani had 4 extra base hits in his first 4 plate appearances. That tied for the most extra base hits in a World Series game, joining Frank Isbell in 1906 Game 5. 2 of those extra base hits were home runs, the 3rd time this postseason Ohtani has hit multiple in a game. He's the first player with 3 multi-homer games in a single postseason. Ohtani had 12 total bases, a mark he also reached in the NLCS Game 4. He's the first player with multiple games with at least 12 total bases in a single postseason. The only other player with 2 such postseason games in a career is Babe Ruth. Lastly, Ohtani is up to 8 home runs this postseason, tying 2020 Corey Seager for the most in a single postseason in Dodgers history. While it wasn't as exciting, Game 4 was arguably more important than the dramatic Game 3. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a 2-run homer off Ohtani in the 3rd inning, Shane Bieber pitched a 4-hit ball into the 6th, and Toronto got back on track with a 6-2 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers on Tuesday night. The series was all tied up at 2-2, heading into Game 5 on Wednesday. In that Game 5 on Wednesday, 22-year-old Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Trey Yesavage set a World Series rookie record with 12 strikeouts. On top of that dominant performance on the mound, Toronto hit the first back-to-back homers to begin a game in World Series history when Davis Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. connected on the 1st and 3rd pitches of the game to jump out to a 2-0 lead in the blink of an eye. From there, it was pretty much all Toronto as they won Game 5 on the road 6-1. The Blue Jays now lead the series 3-2, and they're 1 game away from a World Series title. Game 6 of this incredible series will be tonight at 5 p.m. on Fox, back in Toronto. If needed, and as a fan, I hope it is needed, Game 7 will be tomorrow, also at 5 p.m. on Fox. So, no matter what, by Sunday we will have a World Series champion. With all the excitement of the World Series, we can't forget we are officially at the halfway mark of the NFL season, and Week 8 was another good one. Tua Tagovailoa threw a season-high 4 touchdown passes, and the Miami Dolphins ended their 3-game losing streak by dominating the short-handed Atlanta Falcons 34-10. The Jets finally got their first win of the season in a dramatic comeback against the Cincinnati Bengals. James Cook ran for a career-high 216 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Bills finally played to their potential with a 40-9 win over the Carolina Panthers. The Broncos scored a staggering 44 points and defeated the Dallas Cowboys. And, to end the day, Aaron Rodgers' first ever game against the Green Bay Packers came up as a loss as Green Bay defeated the Steelers 35-25 on Sunday night. I had a not-so-great week with my picks last week, going just 1-3, bringing me to 21-7 on the season. Let's hope this week goes a little bit better than the last. For the halfway mark Week 9, I'll go with the Packers to continue their dominant streak with a win over the Panthers, the Pats to make it 6 wins in a row when they take on the Falcons, the Broncos also to make it 6 straight wins with a victory over Houston, my upset pick of the week, the Giants to beat the 49ers. Since we are officially halfway through the season, here's another look at the current playoff picture. If the season were to end today, it's a tightly contested race, and each win and loss shuffles up this list dramatically every week. A lot of people I've spoken with day to day about this season have agreed there truly isn't a true dominant frontrunner for the Super Bowl this season. The Colts and Packers have the best records, but the Bucks, Seahawks, Broncos, Patriots, Chargers, Chiefs, Steelers, Jaguars, Rams, Lions, Bills, etc., all have looked like top teams, but also bottom teams at times this season. I think the second half of this year is going to be electric. With that in mind, it's time to check in on my preseason playoff predictions and see where I'm at. In the AFC, I predicted the 7 playoff teams would be the Bills, Texans, Ravens, Broncos, Chiefs, Bengals, and Patriots. I'm looking good with 4 of those picks, although I couldn't have known Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson would go down with injuries. However, the Ravens still have a shot at a late playoff push. The Texans are just not looking great, so I expect them to miss the postseason this year. In the NFC, my 7 playoff teams were the Lions, Buccaneers, Eagles, Rams, Commanders, Packers, and I already regret this one, but the Carolina Panthers. 5 of those 7 picks are looking great so far. The Commanders have been banged up this season, but still could sneak into the playoffs later on. The Panthers were just flat out a bad pick by me, I'll admit it. We'll just have to wait and see how the remaining 9 weeks play out. With all that said, enjoy your Halloween and all the sports that this weekend has to offer. Don't forget the time changes this weekend as well. Thank you for joining me on the 175th episode of Sports Corner. I'm looking forward to the future 175 episodes. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.
If you believe the journey is the destination, you'll love exploring in the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 34 miles per gallon. An 11.6-inch high-resolution touchscreen, plus a 182-horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru. Get your new Subaru here with complimentary maintenance included.
Hearing connects you back to life. Don't settle for being trapped in the isolation of poor hearing. Advanced Ear can help you hear friends, family, and caregivers. We provide one-on-one hearing programs that will amaze you with the quality of how much better you can hear. There's no cost to hear the improvement we deliver. You'll be able to hear better the minute you put these on. No buttons to push or technology to be afraid of. We deliver better hearing, guaranteed. Come in so we can connect you back to life. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
All right, folks, let's talk movies. We got a good one for Halloween. It's Murder on the Orient Express. Not a horror movie, but it's kind of a murder mystery kind of series. That's a fun one. It is the classic one that was done back in the 70s. It stars Albert Finney. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Returning home from Istanbul on the Orient Express, a renowned Belgian detective is called upon to solve the murder of an American businessman aboard the train. The suspects are numerous and the clues confusing. Then on Saturday, not so confusing at all, just a bunch of laughs and a fun romantic comedy. It's Honeymoon in Vegas. Nicolas Cage, Sarah Jessica Parker, and James Caan star in that one. It's brought to us by Advanced Ear Care. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Look at those flying Elvis's Utah chapter in that picture. Those guys are funny too in this one. Jack loses $65,000 in a poker game in Las Vegas where he's marrying Betsy. The wedding will have to wait as the poker winner wants the weekend with Betsy to cancel his debt. She accepts, and who will she marry at the end? Oh, look at that tug of war on the screen. That's a fun movie for you as well. All right, folks, let's take a quick check of the weather before we head out. And we got some really nice temperatures for Halloween and through the weekend, really. Going to be about 76 degrees is going to be our high today. And then we head into the low 80s for the rest of the weekend. And then we start to taper off as we head into the work week, 77, back into the 70s by Tuesday. So a tiny, teeny tiny warming trend for us. All right, folks, tomorrow on the program, we're going to be welcoming the folks from Harvard Eye Associates, Dr. John Hovannisian, as well as Hebe Doc, that's medical tourism for dentistry. So we'll talk a little bit more about how that works tomorrow on the program. That's going to do it for this edition, this Halloween spooky edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.